things, but all is well. The Spirit of God is right here and now, where we are and as we are. And, well, I guess maybe we'll just pray. Uh, Ray and I have already prayed this day, but it's always good to have a chance to gather together, to be together in prayer and in thanksgiving. And there's so much to be grateful for. And that is where my focus is. I'm so delighted to be present, to feel myself align with the Spirit of God within me, to know that God is the only power, the only presence, that it is all power and all presence. It is love, it is good, it is right where I am. It is right where each of us is, the I am of each one of us. Each of us created in the spiritual image and likeness and out of the holy presence. And so I'm giving thanks for this opportunity to gather right where we are and as we are, wherever we are, knowing that where we are, God is, because God is ever present, all powerful, all loving, and all good. Grateful to bless each one who comes to participate in any way this morning, this evening, this day, giving thanks for Ray Davis and his magnificent heart and the celestial songs he sings. Grateful for the way that he blesses us. Grateful that all things are working together perfectly, rightly, and well because we choose to say so, because we choose to know this truth. And then we just let it all unfold. It is already done in the mind of God as a divine idea. And we just let it be by simply saying, and so it is. And so it is. Amen. And amen. So Ray Davis is here, and oh my goodness, he has a beautiful song to share with us. Are you there, Ray Davis? There you are.
You're talking about technology. I mixed up screens.
What'd
I've
you
got.
say?
I said you're talking about technology. Always something showing up. I
Always.
mixed up screens. I was like, okay, where am I?
Where am I? Right.
Right.
Ah,
All is well. It's
all is
good
well.
morning, Reverend Greta. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good
Morning,
morning.
Ray.
God bless you. Bless you. This is a wonderful day here in Central Oregon. We are in the Davis household. We are in celebration mode because it is the Queen Lori's birthday, and she is birthday queen for a month.
Okay.
A whole month.
That's the way to shine.
That's the way it works. So one of the songs I'll be doing is a celebration of her. But first, this is a song called Horizon, and it is a song of surrender, but different than it's a choice. It's a choice. We have to choose this enlightenment. We have to choose this light to agree with our creator that we are light, that we are one. We have to choose to agree, and that agreement must show up in our living. So this is a song that talks about the possibilities of life beyond our horizon. It's called Horizon. Have you had the dream of your unfolding life? Have you had the dream of your horizon? Have you seen what lies beyond the fading of your light? Have you ever dreamed of your horizon? Do you fear the day you fade away? Well, there's a secret in the setting, rising sun. A sight unseen, a sound unheard. You say you want a miracle, but fear what you must try. The sight unseen, the sound unheard is a mystery awaiting your discovery beyond your horizon. La 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 la. I've been letting go, no longer holding tight to anything that keeps me, binds me in prisons, confines me behind the mortal veil of moral slavery, in spite of the promise of my horizon. And I no longer fear the day I fade away, for I dream of turning to the rising sun. A sight unseen, a sound unheard. I am the seed of miracles sprouting into new life. The sight unseen, the sound unheard is a mystery awaiting my discovery beyond my horizon. Behold, I tell you a mystery. We are the seed of a miraculous discovery beyond our horizon. La 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 la. Have you had a dream? La 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 la.
Oh my goodness, Ray. I just don't know what to say about you. I guess you can't talk very much, and neither can I, so maybe we should just go home.
If I start, I might keep talking for an hour.
I understand. It's so beautiful. Thank you, Ray.
My joy. It's my joy.
Oh, I just love it when he comes, don't you? He's reserved the second Sunday of every month for us, and it is such a blessing. I have had a dream when I could see beyond what I knew. Maybe you have also. Or maybe you can just simply relate to that as something that could be a wonderful blessing in your life. Well, last week when I was here talking with you, I was sitting in my great grandmother's chair, and the topic was the freedom to know. And I was just sharing the freedom that comes from discovering things that have been covered over or have been thought not to have been for you. And this week, because I thought the month of July would probably be about freedom, and this week the topic is the freedom to choose, moving from the freedom to know to the freedom to choose. And I have chosen a piece to share this morning. It was written by Tanya Michaela, and it's called Lay It Down. She starts with a quote by Anise Nin, who says, "And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk that it took to blossom." So this is what Tanya wrote about seeing beyond the horizon and deciding to just lay it down. And she writes, "I woke up this morning and something said, 'Lay it all down.' Just lay it down. You're done hauling this load. Good and done. Right now." The voice was calm and clear, and I knew that the moment had arrived. So I didn't stop to second guess. Years of bargaining with the universe taught me to be a very good listener, so I just dropped it. The unwieldy load, the old satchel gone behemoth, laden and tattered with the dust and the grit of many journeys, too threadbare to last even until lunchtime. Goodbye, old habits and beliefs, the shrinking, pleasing, and playing nice. Move over fears you were never mine to begin with, just a jumble of ill-fitting hand-me-downs from relatives long dead and gone. Goodbye, shoulds and shouldn'ts that diverted me from my true purpose far longer than necessary. So long, backstage whispers from awkward children, school children who laid their not enoughness on me, convincing me that it was mine to carry forward. So long to the fragile places deep within me that alchemized their pain into my story. Farewell to the limitations of ancestors that surrounded my life like walls. Walls that I spent years leaning against, moving within, returning to often, and decorating in my own unique way. Until one day I realized they were only inherited scenery. Goodbye to all the stuff I tucked away, to needless ways that I cleverly learned to tuck myself away. And a big good riddance to the moments that I traded my own glorious power for the illusion of belonging. Most likely no one else ever noticed any of this, but my soul knew that there were still rooms within me that I hadn't fully entered. Yes, I've been releasing too tight bits and scraps from year to year. But today, all at once, I just plain ran out of energy to continue carrying whatever still remained. Sometimes courage is one of the gifts of exhaustion. And this morning, I laid it all down because more than anything, I'm ready to know what it's like to be free. And her affirmation is, I lovingly release what was never mine to carry, to make room for what is still mine to become. Written through and by Tanya Michaela. Let's see here. Moving from the freedom to know to the freedom to choose. She was choosing in that piece to be free of all of the trappings, all of the habits, all of the old ideas that probably never really served her. And she decided to step into a sense of freedom. Laying it down is like it's half of the choice to be free. It's half. When you've been carrying a load of junk and you put it down, your next question is not, well, now what should I carry? Your question now is, what do I choose? What is it that is for me that I'm willing to accept as my own? So when Ricky sings a song about put down the gun and pick up the shovel and plant a tree of life, that is exercising the choice to be free. That is the freedom to choose, no matter what's happening. And this is not an easy week to be talking about freedom and choice with all of the things that are going on. The heartbreaking news about Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, who was 52 years old on his way to work, as he did for 35 years. And he was killed by ICE and accused of using his car as a weapon. That was in Texas. And then in Mississippi, Nolan Xavier Wells, a 18-year-old boy who went on a trip on July the 4th with his friends and never came home. And all of the now conflicting stories about what happened. It's hard to talk about the idea of freedom, about being free to live your life in harmony and in peace and in unity with all the other people that are doing the same thing. It's hard to talk about the right to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness when there are these two families that are, one is getting ready to bury a father and one is getting ready to bury a son. And there's such a sense of, what is this all about? What is this land of the free and the home of the brave when these kinds of things can happen? And it almost becomes like just part of what we, I hate to say expect. That's a really hard thing to think about. These are hard things to think about, and I'm not going to tell you that just thinking positive thoughts is going to solve everything, because that is not the truth. And these two instances, I mean, there's a whole pool of things that we have to be grieving, that we have to be angry about. Not the least of which is, a country that can't seem to find itself, wars that can't seem to end. I mean, I could go on. But there is one thing, and that is that in the midst of all of the grief and the rage and the upsetness, there is one thing that cannot be compromised by those things. And that is what we're talking about today, the freedom to choose. Viktor Frankl said there's a space between the things that happen to us and our response to those things. And in that space is where the freedom to choose lives. So last week I had a rocking chair and I had a picture, and today I just have a picture and I want to show to you, and I want to explain to you what I would like for you to be able to see. And so this is a picture of my daddy, and he is being sworn in as the second Negro municipal court judge in the state of California and the eighth in the country. And I'm zipping up his robe. And my little sister is with me, and she's just looking up at Daddy, and it's like he's put the moon and the stars in her eyes, right? And my grandmother and my brother are also there, but they're not in the lens of the camera. But my mother, you can hardly see in the background there. My mother is there and she's watching, and she has a new hat on that she bought for this occasion, and you can see the light reflecting in her eyes, but you can't really see her face. And that kind of says a lot about the way that my mother experienced a large part of her life. And she came to California in 1921, and with her family from Houston, Texas. And the school that was near her, the high school, I think she was about 16 years old, she enrolled in Jefferson High School. And she liked dancing and singing and acting. And Jefferson, they were going to put on a play. And so my mother wanted to be in the play, and she auditioned. And then they posted the name of the people, the cast, on the door of the drama room, and she could see what she was cast in. And the witch, she was cast as the witch. And the witch wore a mask. And so nobody was going to be able to see her face. And that was a part of the design of the casting, because nobody in the audience would be able to know that she was a Negro in this school that was practically all white. And it was just part of the ordinary culture that got to decide, before she even opened her mouth, what part she was going to be able to play. And that is the thing that continued at that time. It decided how she was going to be presented. So she got the role, and at the same time she got erased. Like in the same moment, those two things happened. And that happens a lot with what I'll call unfreedom. That unfreedom doesn't always say no. Sometimes it says yes, and then it hands you a mask. So this was a part of this life where my mother experienced things being decided for her, which again is a part of not being free. So for example, she told me that she could go buy a pair of gloves in like these stores like I. Magnons and Bullock's. She could go and buy a pair of gloves, but she couldn't try them on because it was thought that Negroes had germs that white people could catch if they tried the gloves on. And then when she got her teaching credential to teach in Los Angeles City Schools in the third grade classroom, she couldn't, because the quota for hiring Negroes had already been met for that year. So my mother went all the way to Tuskegee Institute, where she could teach, and she did. And the man that loved her was writing these 18-page letters, handwritten letters. I have one of them where he's begging her to come back to California, and that they'll be able to make it, and they'll be able to marry and live happily ever after. Well, she did return to Los Angeles after a year, and she did get a job teaching in Los Angeles schools. And she was the kind of teacher that children didn't forget. You know, my mother made breakfast for the kids in the classroom because she said they couldn't eat if they were hungry, and a lot of them were hungry. Well, anyway, one Halloween she decided she was going to lead the parade. The kids were going to do a costume parade, and she was going to lead it. And my mother dressed up as a witch. As a witch. She made a black long cape, and she found a black tall hat, and she carried a wooden broom. But she did it purposely, not so that nobody would notice her, but because everybody would notice her. And all the children in the schoolyard, including me, followed her like she was the Pied Piper in our costumes for Halloween. Well, can you see what really happened right there? That she took the same mask that she'd been given to hide, and she used it as a way to stand out, to be seen in a way that she meant to. Like 40 years later, she put on the mask that she chose to put on for the reasons that she chose, and to be able to appear in the way that she wanted to. Nobody assigned her, you be the witch. I don't even know if she even connected. I mean, I just recently connected myself this idea that this is what she did. And that's the difference between a mask that is put on you and a mask that you put on yourself for your own reasons in your own time. The material is identical, but the meaning is just the opposite. And that's part of what the freedom to choose is. It's not simply about her being able to be seen, because plenty of people are seen, but they don't get to control how they're being seen. But the freedom to choose is to become the one that makes the decisions, the one that decides for you how you present yourself and how you will be received. It decides the role that you're going to play and the terms you're going to play the role on. It decides the parts of the picture that you want to be seen, even though it's been framed, the parts have been framed by somebody else a long time ago. You get to decide what those parts mean to you and what they are meant to mean for other people. And this is a freedom that's not just found in old photographs from decades ago. This freedom to choose is ours right now, today, right in the midst of everything that's going on. And maybe, like you, I've been reading some of the comments on social media about Lorenzo's death and about Nolan's death, and just reading the comments of people that are so upset about those things and so many other things. But I could tell from the first few words of the sentence where it's going and where it's coming from. It's meant to be like righteous indignation, but it's like vile, horrible things that people are saying about the people that they think are doing horrible things. Just stripping them of any sense of humanity, or it just further divides us. It makes it look more like this is the place that we need to come from when something like this happens. And that is manipulation. That is not freedom to choose. It was Nelson Mandela who said that, he warned us about drinking poison and then hoping that our enemies will be killed by the poison. People are saying these things and writing these things that are just like poison. But the freedom to choose tells me I don't, I'm not going to drink this Kool-Aid. This is not for me. And I get to shut it down. I get to stop reading what that person has to say. I get to not participate in that way. That is their choice. That's how they see it. I'm not here to judge that. I'm just here to say it's not for me. That is not the choice that I'm making. I understand the anger and I understand the concern, but I'm not going to spew more of the stuff to make us more divided. And then I had this experience. I used to study and go to services as a self-realization fellowship that Paramahansa Yogananda started. It was decades ago that I used to go, but I was just wondering about it and what was happening there. And I was looking on my phone. I just, put in self-realization fellowship. And I was reading about the classes that they're offering now and the ways that they have the services set up. And, there's some courses that you take before you can become a part of the organization. That was Friday. And yesterday, Saturday, on my computer, all of this stuff about self-realization fellowship. Big Brother was aware that I was looking for it on my phone. So on my computer, here it is. And this is the way that it works. We know this about the algorithms, the way, and it's a mirror of the thoughts you think about come about. Our thoughts become things. Anything that we appear to be interested in, we're going to be sure to get more of what we're interested in. And so in the same way that on my feed, when I say, oh, I'm interested in this, I start seeing more of that. But if I happen to linger somewhere where somebody is saying all of the vile, terrible things, I'm going to get more of those things. I have the freedom to choose the thoughts that I accept. The thoughts that my mind thinks attracts more of those thoughts. And I am not going to be a victim of other people's thoughts. The freedom to choose that I have says in this space, I'm not saying these things aren't happening. I'm very well aware that they're happening. I'm saying I'm not going to attach myself to them. I want to align myself with things that are true and things that are helpful, things that are kind, things that are caring and generous and faithful and hopeful. That is where I want the universe. I know the universe works according to the things that I'm interested in. And these are the things that I am interested in. I know all about the so-called bad guys, but God is more than that. And my faith in God is more than that. And I trust and believe that one with God is what we think of as the majority. One with God is the only thing that is. and the only thing that has ever proved to be true. When I was a little girl, I really wanted to be good. I really wanted to be like an angel. But I had this kind of secret fear that maybe I was really a devil, and that maybe horns were going to grow on my head, and then people would be able to know when they saw the horns that I really was a devil. I don't know where I got the idea from. I never really shared it with anybody. It was too scary an idea. I had a little diary with a little key, but I never wrote that down in my diary. But it was a kind of a mask because it was something that I had to keep secret and close. And yet I was really, really afraid of what I was keeping close inside me. And so that had certain effects on me as I grew up, feeling like I was going to be found out and I wasn't going to be safe. And, you know, these thoughts are circulating in the world, and there are ways to be exposed to them that we wouldn't have planned. But what I do know now is that the freedom that my mother had to choose in a powerful moment to be wearing a mask, that freedom to choose to know that I was safe and I was all right, it was available to me, but I didn't know. I didn't consciously know that I had the freedom not to choose that for myself. I do know it now. I have grown into knowing it now, how powerful the choice is. I saw Reverend Joanne Coleman last night at a play, and she asked me about what I was talking about today, and I told her the freedom to choose. And she was telling me this story about how when God was creating humans and deciding, you know, what to bless them with, what to put in them, and that God decided to give humans choice, and the angels all said, "Oh no, no, don't do that with choice. They can choose the wrong thing." Don't. But divine intelligence did give us choice, and it is a precious gift that we can align ourselves with. It's a gift for you. It's already within you, this gift of choice. You don't have to continue playing the role that somebody else gave you. You don't have to continue to be afraid of some fear that was introduced to you so long ago that you don't even remember how it happened. I don't remember how I became really, I was really afraid of everything. But maybe that kept me praying because that we would all be safe and we would all be okay. You don't have to try to figure out what is right for you. You can set the intention to want to know, to want to align yourself with what is real and what is true and what is righteous. You're not here to convince anybody else of anything. The most powerful thing that you can do is to let yourself know the truth that is in you, to be expressed through you. And the Spirit of God in you takes care of everything else. But you might be amazed to realize the effect that you can have on other people when you're not even trying to. but who you are is speaking more loudly than anything that you could say or signs that you could make. This gift of the choice is a gift that is unfolding from within you. And there's something in you that says, yes, it must be so. I've just kind of forgotten. And there's something in you, I'm sure, that is willing to say, this is something that I want to realign myself with. This freedom to choose what my life is. And choosing what your life is in this moment determines what your life will be in the next moment. In this moment is where the freedom and the power to choose resides within you. So when my mother decided to put the mask on the second time, she wasn't using it to help herself disappear. Not this time. This time she was using it to make a statement that has lasted all these many years, that just really occurred to me as I was working with what I was going to share today. And it's a powerful statement about how truth prevails and the infinite possibilities for good that exist right where we are. We can't force feed it to other people, but we can make certain that we are renewed and refreshed and invigorated and blessed by it. So when Tanya writes her affirmation, I lovingly release what was never mine to carry, to make room for what is still mine to become. We are continuously becoming more and more of who we are really meant to be. So this week, the first thing that I want you to do is to choose one thing that is not the truth of you. Maybe it's some sense of shame that started when somebody whispered something behind your back. Maybe it's a should that somebody put on you that is not even still in your life anymore. Maybe it's some kind of a mask that was handed to you. You were told to wear this. Just take one thing that occurs. You don't even have to think hard about it. If you just let yourself be in alignment with something that is not you, that you can release and let go of, put it down, lay it down, decide that you are letting it go. Because it was never really yours to hold. And then the second thing is to choose one true thing about you. Maybe not a lot of people know, but something that you know is true, and decide to accept that for yourself. So it could be something about having a conversation with somebody that you finally decide to have. It could be showing up somewhere exactly yourself, not showing up as the person that you think people want you to be or expect you to be. Maybe it's just looking at an old photograph of your own life and deciding that you're done standing in the background. That isn't where you're meant to be. Decide that you're going to put down the gun and pick up the shovel and plant something whole and perfect and complete, lovely and kind and compassionate, generous and peaceful. You don't have to wait for somebody else to tell you what role you get to play and how you get to play it. There's an I am presence within you that is already choosing you. It's already chosen you as its vehicle, as the place that is here to reveal itself. Decide to embody that, to give the Holy Spirit a place in your life to express. And if you already have, like a lot of you I know already have, then just decide to give it even more space, more place to reveal itself, express itself, show itself through and as your life. So my mother led this whole schoolyard of kids in this parade. And you couldn't really see her in the photograph where my dad was getting sworn in. But I hope that you have another idea of what she looked like, of who she was. I hope that it inspires you to align yourself with the freedom of choice and that you choose your freedom, even in these trying times, especially in these trying times, to align yourself with the truth that you know that you are. Because somewhere in your life there's a picture of you and you're standing there in the background, and I'm inviting you to step forward into this now moment and accept the freedom to be who you really are. So I'm giving thanks for the good of God, for the breath of God that is breathing us, the love of God that is radiating through us, the power of God that is guiding us, protecting us, healing us, loving us. I'm giving thanks that through the power of the Holy Word, we express the I am that I am. And that is really all we need to know. Everything else falls into place. I'm speaking this word of blessing those who are hearing this message maybe in a way that they haven't heard before. Speaking this word for those that are feeling something in their heart of heart that says, I am. I really am. Speaking this word of blessing for those that are going through some difficult, challenging times with health, with finances, with relationship, with housing, with employment, with healing, old wounds and new. I know the grace of God is everywhere the I am is, and that each of us is embraced and held and lifted and loved. I'm speaking this word for the energy of unity and harmony and peace. I'm accepting that it is revealing itself through and as everything. Even now, I'm blessing those that have no water to drink, no food to eat, no shelter. I'm knowing the presence of God right where they are, that they are not forgotten, that they are embraced, that they are loved, and they are provided for. It is beyond the horizon that I can see right now, but this is the truth. And my seeing it, my being willing to accept it, makes it so, brings it into manifestation. Because my thought becomes things. I think the highest. I accept the highest. I praise the highest. I give thanks for this magnificent life that we are all living, the ways that we're learning and growing, the opportunity to become more and more one with the one. And because I trust and know that all things are unfolding perfectly, rightly, and well in the kingdom of heaven, and the kingdom of heaven is right here and right now, revealing itself through and as all of us. I can declare that it is done, that God is real, and all is well. And for this, I give great thanks. And in gratitude, I release this word to the activity of the law. I know that it's already done. So I just let it be. And so I say, and so it is. Amen and amen. Thank you. Well, Ray is here, and Ray has a special song to share with us today.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Thank you for that talk, Reverend Greta. Mm, mm. I can't believe how much I enjoy listening to you speak because it's like, poof, poof, poof. I used to call you the Velvet Hammer. I used to call you the Velvet. You can ask Lori. I used to call you the Velvet Hammer because it's so smooth and wonderful, but then that truth just comes, pow, knocks you out of your consciousness.
Oh,
Makes you
Ray,
really
thank you.
feel
That's
your
how I
consciousness.
feel about your singing. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you.
That was my joy. Hold on. Ah, man, I had an. Okay, I'll let that go. Uh, my mind is constantly, there's always music going on. And so there's any second that seems nothing going on, there's always something. Okay, so yes, this is a very special song for a very special person. My wife and I are going to be celebrating 10 years of marriage in September.
Yes.
10 years.
I
But we,
remember when you met.
yes, 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 at the Agape International Spiritual Center
Yes.
in the year of 2007, 2007. And my life has not been the same since. I'm grateful that my life has not been the same since, and it has been a wonderful opportunity to grow together.
Yes.
We took it seriously when we heard Reverend Michael say that these kinds of all relationships are really spiritual. It's spiritual based, But the most intense version of relationship is when you're kind of stuck with a person.
For
Because
better or
whatever's there is
worse.
going to come out, man. You get to deal with stuff, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful, and it's tough, and toughly wonderful. So this is a song I wrote about Lori and about spiritual partnership back in the day. Now, one thing you need to know about Lori, well, two things. One, she spells her name Laurie. She's that kind of a Lori, Laurie. And secondly, when I met her, her last name was Wilder,
Yes.
and we knew her as Lori Wilder, but that was an adopted last name because she didn't like any of the other last names, so she chose that one.
Oh, good for her.
Talking about a
She
mask,
get to
she
choose.
to
Yes.
be seen, yeah. So you'll hear reference to Wilder in this song. This song is called "Let's Get Together." Let's get together. Am I right? Yes. Start. Sorry, I have to do one more thing. Am I here? Sorry about that. Here we go. Yeah. You got a minute to spare. Baby, let's get together. Anywhere you want me, we'll do. We've got so much love to share. Baby, let's get together. All I want to be is with you. It's been a minute since I've seen ya. Sugar, I don't really mean to disturb your peace of mind, but I can't seem to get you out of mind. So I might as well give in to this urge to splurge on time to spend with you for some soul to soul satisfaction. I know you hear me calling to you, baby. My heart sees your heart. My love feels your love. Let's get together and celebrate. You've got a minute to spare. Baby, let's get together. Anywhere you want me, we'll do. We've got so much love to share. Baby, let's get together. All I want to be. I knew the minute that I met you. There'd be no way that I forget you. Your light was so bright, so shining. For the chance to bask, you had them lining up. I wasn't looking for love, I was bringing it. You weren't talking about love, so we're singing it, a song of soul satisfaction. I know you hear me calling to you, baby. My heart sees your heart. My love feels your love. Let's get together and celebrate. You've got a minute to spare, baby. Come on now, let's get together. Anywhere you want me, we'll do. We've got so much love to share. Let's get together. All I want to be, I love you. I love the way you walk. I love the way you talk of life and truth. You're my wonder, wonder, partner and my lover. I thank God for every day that I get to love you. Love you. Yeah, 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 You've got a minute to spare, baby. Come on, let's get together. Anywhere you want me, we'll do. We've got so much love to share. Oh, let's get together. All I want to be. You got a minute to spare. Come on now, let's get together.
All right, Ray. Thank you, Ray Davis. I love how you don't even have to look at the keys. Your fingers just know what the notes to play. And you play keyboards and you play trumpet and you play guitar. And now you're a whistler too.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Thank you. Happy birthday to Lori.
Yay! It's Wednesday, the 15th,
Wednesday.
July
All
15th.
right. Thank you, Ray.
My joy.
Whew. Beautiful ways that the Spirit of God finds to express itself through us as instruments. So grateful to spend this time with you, to be able to share with you. I'm grateful that you come, that you share the ministry with people that you think might be interested. So grateful for those of you that are able to share, to support the ministry through your contributions, through your tithes and your gifts. Grateful for any opportunity that you take just to be a giver, to be a person that gives of your goods and your time and your energy and your love and your light. Any way, any place that you're giving and sharing helps to make the world a better place, because giving is caring and it's loving and it's sharing. And I'm grateful that one of the choices that you make is to be a giver. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of this community. Try this week to exercise your freedom of choice. No matter what anybody else is doing or saying, make an agreement with yourself that you're choosing. We can be like accountability partners if you want. I got, one of my granddaughters, I wanted her to do a certain thing, take a certain remedy that I thought would help, and she wanted me to drink more water. And so she said, how many of these will you drink? This is 16 ounces, okay? She wanted me to do 4. I said, I can't do that. She said, well, okay, 3. So I did. Because I felt like I was we were supporting each other. So I'll be your accountability partner. If you want to make a change for yourself, a change that is for the better, and you just want somebody to know about it, you can put it in the chat. You can email me, revgreta@me.com. Let me know what you're choosing for yourself that is different. And I'm going to drink 3 of these a day. And I'm going to continue my meditation and my prayer and my reading, my growing, and being open and available to what the Spirit of God wants me to know and wants me to share. That's simple. You don't even have to tell me what it is if you don't. If you just want to tell me you got something in the works, I'll be so happy to hear that and to know that. Thank you, my dear friends here with me on Zoom. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, YouTube. These talks stay up on YouTube. You can always go back if you missed something and you want to revisit or catch something that you missed. I am blessing you and knowing that where you are, the Spirit of God is, and knowing that, I know that all is well. Thank you, my friends here. Let me see if I can. There you are. Oh, there's Sachi. Hi, my Sachi. Hilda and Tanya and Sylvia, thank you so much. Love you all. Have a wonderful week. See you next Sunday. Bye.